Hi, good people. I hope you are well from where you are watching from. Welcome to Kate Ndongo Cafe. When we look after our crops, the crops also look after us, and we get benefits such as more yield and more income. And that is why our guest for today is an expert in crop farming. Karibu sana. Thank you very much, Chris. Welcome to Creative Cafe. So tell us your name and tell us what you do.
Okay, my name's Rhoda Omariba. I'm an expert in post production. Yes, I'm an agronomy. So I deal with the post production, like from land preparation after harvesting and the post practices.
So today I want you to tell us more about taking care of our crops and how we can be able to increase the productivity of our land. So to start with, what is agronomy and important aspects in both crop and also animal farming?
Okay, to start with, agriculture is life. Yes. So for any life to be supported here, we must have crops that will provide food for both human and also we have crops that provide food for livestock. Yeah, so when we speak about agriculture, we speak about the land. Yes. And when we deal with the crops, we have to be very keen to follow all the agronomic practices. For example, land preparation. We have an aspect in seed selection. Yeah, farmers should use soft seed. Again, the other management practices such as breeding, we have harvesting. So every aspect of crop production is very important. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And you have mentioned about this practice. Kindly expound on each of the practices that you have mentioned. Maybe something to do with land preparation, when should we do it, how do we do it, about the feed. Kindly expound on those practices that you should be able to do to be able to keep on producing crops from our land.
Okay, to start with, for any crop production, we have to start with the land preparation. And there are various stages of land preparation, and all this depends on how is your land before you start planting. Okay, so we have land that is sometimes bushy, and sometimes we also have land that is not bushy. Maybe it was previously cultivated. So if you are doing your cultivation in a land that was not initially cultivated and it is bushy, we start with what we call land development. It is the first stage of land preparation. Then after land clearing, we go to plowing. We have two plowing. You can do the first plowing and the second plowing. Then after second plowing, we go to harrowing. Yeah, you can do harrowing as many times as possible to ensure that your soil is good for planting. Yeah, again, for the soil preparation, it depends on the size of seed that you're planting, the type of crop that you're planting, because the various crops have different sizes of seeds. Yes, there are those that have small, very tiny seeds, and they require a fine field. And there are those that have a bit bigger, so they don't require too much fertilizer. They can be able to survive even on a bit rough soil. Then after land preparation, we go to planting. Yes, and the one key aspect in planting is seed selection. Yeah, farmers should make sure that they get their seeds from a certified seed vendor. Yeah, you don't just go into the market and plant anything. If you're focusing to have a good yield at the end of the day, you must ensure that whatever seed you're planting is a certified seed. Yeah, and we have registered companies that produce those fruits. We have a company like Kenya Seed. We have a company like Calro. Yeah, Calro also promotes certified seed and many other companies that produce plates for planting. Yes, then after you've selected your seed, a good certified seed, a good variety that is conforming to your environment, you can now go ahead and plant. Then after planting, you will wait for your seeds to germinate. Of course, there is that period of waiting for your seeds to germinate. After they've germinated, we have management practices, and these practices, one of them is weeding. Yeah, again, on weeding, you have to choose a good weeding method for your crops. There are those that are weeded manually, and for large scale, we have some farmers use herbicides. Yeah, and again, when you're using herbicides, you have to take caution because there are those herbicides that are hazardous to our environment and to the soil. So we encourage most of the farmers, our farmers, to make sure that they use herbicides that are not hazardous to the soil. And they can also do manual weeding instead of using the herbicide to make sure that the soil are well maintained. They have good organic matter. They have the microbial organisms in the soil that will help to make sure that the soil structure is well maintained. Yes. Then after weeding, we have another management practice that is called top dressing. Yeah, for any planting or for any plant, for it to survive or for it to have like produce at the end of the day, it must be well fed. Yeah, nutrition is a very key important to that plant. So when you are planting, make sure you choose the right fertilizer for your crop. When it comes to top dressing, again, you a right top dresser. There are those that use foliar fertilizer. There are those that use CAN. There are those that use there. So there are different types of top dressing, and we tell our farmers that they choose a top dresser that is good for the land. Yes. And if they're able to go organic, organic is also better. Yeah, as compared to inorganic fertilizer. Yes. Then after we've done our top dressing, we go to the next stage, and that is harvesting. That is after our crop has matured. We have to do what we call harvesting. Again, as I have said earlier, every crop has a harvesting stage. Yeah, different crops will show different signs of maturity. So after your crop has matured, make sure that you harvest at the right time. And one importance of harvesting at the right time is that you will be able to catch the market. You will fetch a good price at the market. But if you delay harvesting your crop, you will end up having losses. Yeah, you will end up having crops with low quality. Yes. So harvesting stage is very key, and it should be observed for all the crops. You eat vegetables, you eat the grain, they eat, we have even livestock feed. Yeah, these harvesting phase is very important. And again, after harvesting, we have what we call post-harvest practices. How do you store your crop after you harvest it? How do you store your forages after you harvest them? Yeah, you have to observe all the required practices to ensure that how you harvested your produce, it retains the same quality until it goes into the market or until it is utilized. Yeah, so you make sure that all these things are followed and you will have at the end of the day, you will be able to realize profit in your farm. Yes. Yeah, thank you so much for that information. You have taken us through the whole process of preparing the land up to harvesting, and even you have given us information on how we can use it so the produce well until we utilize it. Now, Rhoda, know that there are areas in this country where we have shortage of food, especially during the dry period. In the arid and the farmers of not having for their livestock. And there may be factors that those farmers who are in those areas they could establish, and then they could maybe be able to handle the challenge of having insufficient feed during the dry period. Yes, thank you very much for the question. And we've noted in our country that animal feed shortage is a very big challenge, especially in the northern Kenya. And currently in our country, the sectors are at their head, trying to find assets that can meet in those areas. And recently we have had this drug called super or Pastures, and again we have Brasilia. These two grasses are very good. They adapt in almost all the environment. They are drought tolerant and their maturity is very fast. For example, with the supernature, if you plant your supernature today, in 3 days' time, you will start seeing new shoots from that supernature. Again, another advantage of these two grasses is that they have higher nutritional value like for example, Bactron has the 18% body protein, which is a very good protein level that can be able to sustain an animal even without any supplementation of protein. The same way with the graphene. So if a farmer can be able to plant these foods, it will take her or him a long way through the drought period. And the fast maturing of these crops will also ensure that a farmer can be able to harvest these crops as many times as possible and store the seed. Yeah, supernature can be considered as silage and brachyra can be considered as hay. And these ones can be utilized during those dry periods. And this will ensure that farmers in those areas are well secured and uh, they have income, yeah, and food security. And, yeah, we also have other grasses in extension that is drought tolerant, and the farmers can adopt these grasses to ensure that we have sustainable livestock production and also food security. Thank you so much for that information. It is so useful, especially for the farmers who are in the arid and semi-arid area. So I wanted to ask you also, now that you are an agronomist, if someone comes to you and they want to do a course in agronomy, what did you tell them? Say yes? Why? I guess. For me, agronomy is a yes. Uh, it's a yes. As I started earlier, I said agriculture. So without agriculture, I don't think there is life anywhere. Yes, and again, agriculture is an interesting work. Yeah, you can learn so many things from agriculture, and it is not just about cultivation of crops. It is not just about cultivation of animal production. It is very wide. Yeah, you can be doing farm management. You can do beef production. You can do so many things in agriculture. So when you say agriculture, it is not just being dirty. Yeah, there are other things apart from being dirty, touching the soil. Yeah. So guys, you have had agronomy. It's a yes. So agronomy is a so. Thank you so much, Rhoda, for that information. As we conclude, what is your message to those people who are watching us today? What would you tell them? Okay, to our viewers, I would like to tell you that agriculture is fun and we should embrace agriculture, especially in these times of climate change. So, for us to have a sustainable food security in our country, we should embrace agriculture. Yes. Thank you so much. She has said it. Agriculture is fun and it has so many benefits, as she has mentioned. So that is it for today. Until next time, bye.